In this video, I will show you how to dual boot macOS and Ubuntu Asahi on your Apple Silicon in 2025. This step-by-step guide will help you run Ubuntu Asahi Linux natively on ARM-based Macs. Now, using this method, you can install and run Ubuntu bare metal with hardware acceleration on any M1 and M2-based Macs. Now keep in mind that this guide is only for Apple Silicon Macs. If your Mac is powered by Intel, check out the video link in the description for relevant instructions. Now with that said, let's get started. Ubuntu Asahi is an excellent Linux operating system optimized for M1 or M2 Macs. It provides a fully functional and seamless Linux experience similar to Fedora Asahi Remix for Apple Silicon Macs. Ubuntu Asahi is a community project, integrates Asahi Toolkit into Ubuntu, aiming to provide stable and feature-rich Ubuntu installations on Apple Silicon hardware. Now for this demonstration, I will be using my base model M1 MacBook Air. The process is the same for any compatible Apple Silicon Mac. Before proceeding, visit Ubuntu Asahi for additional information. To dual boot Ubuntu on M1 or M2 Mac, reserve at least 80 GB of free space or higher and ensure your Mac is running on macOS 13.5 or higher. Then open a terminal and take a note of your macOS username. In my case, it's M1 Mac. Now run this command to view the draft information and take a screenshot of the internal disk layout for future reference. Next, open a web browser and visit this link. Now please note that this project currently supports only M1 and M2 Macs. However, support for M3 and M4 Macs is expected in the coming months. Now let's proceed to install Ubuntu Asahi alongside macOS. Copy this command from here and paste it into the terminal. Ensure your Mac is connected to fast internet connection to download Ubuntu Asahi Linux. Once the installer starts, it will prompt you to enter the sudo password. Then type R to resize the partition. You can shrink the macOS partition by specifying a percentage of free space. For example, if your Mac has 120 GB of free space, you can allocate 70% to macOS and 30% to Ubuntu Asahi Linux. Now, as you can see, the installer has allocated a free space. Type Y and press Enter to continue. Now, as you can see, this is the allocated free space. Then type F to install Ubuntu Asahi into the free space. Now choose the version of Ubuntu you would like to install. You can choose either 2404 LTS or 2410 non-LTS version. You can also install Server Edition if you want. For now, I will select option 1 to install the latest Ubuntu version. Now confirm the free space by typing max. Name your Ubuntu Asahi installation, then press Enter to begin the process. This process may take 15 to 30 minutes, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the break while the installation completes. And that's it, we are done with the first step. You can find more instructions for step number 2 to complete the installation of Ubuntu Asahi. Now read these instructions and follow them carefully. I recommend taking a screenshot. Now press the Enter key to shut down your Mac. Wait for at least 30 seconds. Then press and hold the power button until you see a message loading startup options. Now this will take you to the One True Boot, which shows all the bootable volumes that have an operating system. Now from here, you can boot into macOS, Ubuntu, and Recovery. Now using the arrow keys or trackpad, select Ubuntu Asahi and press the Enter key. Now go ahead, select the username and enter the password you used to log in into macOS. Now press enter to continue. Type Y to put the system into permissive mode. Authorize the installer by typing the username and password of the macOS administrator to change the boot policies. And voila, now you can see the installation is complete. If your Mac gets stuck in a boot loop or reboots during the installation process, force shutdown and enter recovery mode using the One True Boot menu. Then open Terminal and run the script to remove outdated boot policies. Then boot back your system into macOS. And rerun Ubuntu Asahi script and repeat step number 2. Once complete, press the Enter key to reboot. Your Mac will now boot into Ubuntu Asahi running on bare metal. After booting into Ubuntu Asahi, follow the on-screen instructions to set up the user account. Now speaking of performance, Ubuntu Asahi with latest GNOME Desktop on Apple Silicon is outstanding. The experience is seamless and highly optimized. Now to switch between macOS and Ubuntu Asahi, first shut down your Mac. Once the screen goes black, press and hold the power button until you see a message loading startup options. Just remember, when the Mac is turned off, holding the power button for 10 seconds will take you to the boot menu where you can see both macOS and Ubuntu Asahi boot entries. You can choose Macintosh HD to boot into macOS. This is a perfect dual boot setup on Apple Silicon Macs with Ubuntu Asahi and macOS. When you're inside macOS, open the Startup Disk Manager and change the boot order. You can choose macOS to boot automatically whenever you reboot the system from any OS. And that's pretty much it. This is how you properly install Ubuntu Asahi on MWin or M2 Mac natively. So check the description for more valuable information. Thank you so much for watching. This has been KSK Royal. I will see you in the next one.